Okay, hi everyone. My name's Andy Gillard. I'm a partner at EY. I lead our Asia Pacific Intelligent Operations solution. And today, in this slot, myself and a couple of members of the team that will introduce themselves very shortly, Sam Peterson, Angus Marshall, are going to take you through our Intelligent Operations solution. And then a very key part of that overarching method, leveraging a great partnership with Shibumi, and then also at the tail end talk about a couple of use cases, client use cases. So Sam and Gus, starting with Sam, if you could just briefly introduce yourself to everyone, that would be fantastic.
Thanks, Andy, and hello all. My name is Sam Peters. I'm a director in EY's Business Consulting Services, focused on providing intelligent operations services to our clients to help them improve their business performance.
Hi, my name is Angus Marshall. I work in EY's tech consulting business, looking at intelligent operations, automation assessment, and automation implementation.
Okay, thanks, Sam. Thanks, Gus. So we're going to start with a 4 or 5 minute overview of our intelligent operations framework, which in a nutshell, it's a data-driven and codified approach to enabling clients across all business sectors to improve their operational performance. And as it should, it's very, very focused on client outcomes. And on the right-hand side of this slide, you can see the key outcomes that we look to deliver in partnership with our clients: customer experience, efficiency, employee experience, risk and control, and a more effective operating model. And as everyone I'm sure will appreciate, with the challenges of sort of COVID, some of these business outcomes have become more critical than ever across the world, in Asia Pac and in Australia, where Sam, Gus, and I are sat today. And it's not only the scale of some of those outcomes, it's the speed and sustainability of those outcomes too. So moving from the far right to the very start. So the first step in the work we do with clients in this space is the discovery. And EY globally, leveraging a number of alliance partners, is investing significantly in the space to enable us to get the right insights around what processes are, end-to-end processes are, and how they're performing as quickly as possible with minimal business disruption and with minimal judgment. And so over time with clients, we are deploying technologies such as process mining and user journey analytics to understand both the current performance baseline and the opportunity improvement baseline. So going back to one of my earlier comments, very focused on being data driven and codified. And then I've moved to the next column. That's on top part of it. You can see 10 of EY's global assets that we typically leverage to varying degrees in some of our very significant client partnerships in Asia Pac and across the world. And it draws on a wide range of improvement levers. So if appropriate, we would use lean based method. We have a global network of innovation and growth centers called Wavespace, and we use those Wavespaces, I think there are nearly 30 of them globally, to underpin Process Lab, which is on the top left, you can see there, which is how we bring together all stakeholders in an end-to-end process and at pace drive hard to identify improvement opportunities, the resulting business case and the execution plan. Another one on the top right of the second column is the process automation assessment, or we call it EY, the PAA, which we'll dive into a bit more detail on shortly. And obviously, strong partnership with our clients is absolutely critical to deliver success. And so whether that's with individual business units, support functions, or their own centre of excellence, or indeed two or all three of those, is a key part of our method. And I've touched upon it already, but leveraging EY's global alliance and ecosystem partners, whether it be a Microsoft, whether it be a Shibumi, obviously, whether it be an SAP, whether it be a Pega, whether it be a ServiceNow, and sort of many others. Increasingly, we are finding that the bringing together the tripartite of our clients, obviously, EY and our alliance partnerships, the sum of is much more than 3 times 1 is 3. It's bringing those 3 together is a significant multiplier effect. And then in the third column, what we do is look at all the different ways you can transform the performance of your processes. So we passionately believe at EY that a single point solution is not going to give you the best answer. So using a codified approach, we look at simplification, standardization, and elimination activity, which has typically strong lean and sometimes Lean Six Sigma element. We look at all the different ways you can automate a process. And I think in the market today, automation is often equated to robotics. And at EY, we believe there are, I think, 14 or 15 minimum different technologies you can use to improve the automation of process. So we bring all of those together. And then process re-engineering, for example, using human-centered design principles is clearly another improvement lever. Platforms, enterprise system changes, re-platforming, enterprise system upgrades are obviously a key part of how you can transform your processes too. Labor productivity is something we're also really strong at. So the best systems and the best process design is clearly one thing, but how you manage robustly the interface between humans and technology to maximize the productivity of your workforce is clearly critical. And then obviously workforce partnering. So should our clients operate and transform processes on their behalf, by themselves, or should they leverage a partner or ecosystem of partners such as your BPO or captive arrangements to operate and transform processes? And the very last point on there, obviously, with the challenges of COVID, resiliency, thinking about how you maximize your operational resiliency is clearly key. And many of our clients have faced real challenges that they've worked through to a degree with BPO arrangements in places like India and the Philippines and elsewhere, where certainly versus captive operations, they've had some real performance struggles over the last few months. So that's a summary of our intelligent operations framework. I'm now going to sort of pass over to Gus and Sam to talk about the process automation assessment, which, going back to that second column, is a very key part of our method, and it's part of our method where we have a great relationship with Shibumi to drive value for our clients. So over to you.
Thanks, Andy. And as Andy's described, process improvement and automation are key components of EY's intelligent operations approach. And look, EY is a global leader in automation, both in providing services to our clients. We're actually one of the largest users globally of automation on our own processes and operations. And we offer a full suite of services that you can see on the wheel on the left, from strategy and opportunity assessment through to implementation and automation, even as a managed service for our clients. Now, a key starting point for many of our clients is what we call a process automation assessment, and it helps them answer some fundamental questions around, well, what is the potential of automation and the impact on my workforce? What technologies could be used? What is the overall value on the table? And what would a business case and an implementation roadmap look like? So in response to this, and partnering with many clients over the last 5-6 years, we have developed an assessment method that has been provided to our clients, well, in Oceania, but also across APAC and globally, and is, of course, powered by the Shibumi platform. The process automation assessment method assesses process automation and process redesign together. It assesses multiple technologies, as Andy said, up to about 15 different technologies are assessed, not just RPA or RDA. It can be delivered at scale. For example, we've delivered to a particular client the method to assess up to 1,000 processes in a condensed period of time. The method assesses value, not just across cost reduction, but also across customer experience, risk, resilience, and workforce productivity. The outcome from it, which is a business case and implementation roadmap, that of course can be prioritized and sequenced to fit each of our clients' transformation needs. And very importantly, it is a licensable and externally providable method, so it gives our clients many different ways to make use of the method, whether that be through direct engagement with EY or actually to apply it internally. So Gus, I'll pass over to you now to take through a demonstration of this method and the tool.
Great, thanks, Sam. Just to reiterate, as Sam said, so the PAA Digital Tool is an asset that supports the process automation assessment methodology and was designed with Shibumi to be intuitive and user-friendly to assess the opportunity at scale. So the tool supports the users by capturing process details during a process assessment workshop and calculates using our codified logic an estimated automation potential and implementation complexity, and to build that business case that Sam mentioned before. The tool also provides the capability to assess across 12 technology solutions, including RDA and RPA, enabling tech such as OCR and NLP, and emerging tech such as machine learning. The number of solutions in the tool means we assess across the whole automation suite and provides the best business outcomes, both financial and non-financial, to the client, and is presented to the client in a simple and easy dashboard. So I'll quickly just jump into the tool now. Okay, so you should see here now, this is our intake form. So firstly, we have the intake form, which is where we enter all the process data required to calculate the benefits and complexity to implement the solution, and is normally held in a workshop environment with a client. The advantage of this is that the structure of the tool facilitates flexible discussions on the process and opportunities for improvement and redesign as well. So as we step through the tool, we capture the name of the process, and then we capture the current state process details. So this includes baseline data such as process, people and metrics, the inputs, the type of activities that occur, and other considerations that we might need to consider as well, all essential in determining how automatable a process is. If we click into the automation considerations, these capture any ongoing or planned initiatives that might happen, or any other considerations that we take into account. This is important because we take in both data in terms of the baseline data, but we also take in any other things that might be that might need to be assessed by our team through the automation assessment. We also capture the complexity of the process, which is a key get right in understanding how automatable a process is and what the most appropriate technology is as well. Additionally, we also capture a variety of value drivers to help understand non-financial impacts of automating a process, such as self-service, customer satisfaction, employee satisfaction, in compliance and risk as well, all key insights that are required. We then can create an opportunity, which success. So we proceed. And we can click in. So the tool is now running through the codified algorithms to determine how automatable the process is and which tech is most appropriate. The assess will jump into the automation assessment, and the team will complete this assessment using both the data that has been provided and also their own experience, insight, and business context to determine the best solution. Once the solution is selected, in this case, we're going to select RPA. Then we will then see on the process summary the business case, so how much of the effort was automated, what are the total FTE savings, the annual gross benefit, and also cost reduction as well. All things that are vital for a business owner to see and determine whether they want to go ahead and automate a process. We also then have in a portfolio view, so that was the process view, the portfolio dashboard, which summarizes all the processes across the portfolio, regardless of which business group they're in, and demonstrate how and assess how automatable a process is and how this can be done at scale. It's designed to be simple and easy for management to be able to understand, and the value that they are getting from automation as well. It provides things like the benefits, the ROI, and also the customer outcomes as well, and also the range of technologies that are being used to automate processes across the portfolio. Lastly, we have a prioritized dashboard as well, prioritization dashboard, which illustrates which processes will provide the highest benefit at the lowest cost, and also allows sequencing as well. We also have the ability to provide an implementation roadmap to help our clients sequence, as we know that if they are producing or implementing at scale, they'll need to sequence these processes along a timeline. So as you can see, the PAA using Shibumi is a really powerful tool to quantify the value on the table and provide a strategic narrative for a client to transform. I'll now pass you on to Sam, who's going to take you through some examples of where intelligent operations and the PAA has been successfully used before.
Thanks, Gus. And yeah, great demonstration. And we're seeing this as really being well received by our clients, particularly for the intuitive way that the opportunities and quantification of that's being assessed, and the way that can be communicated throughout our client's organisation. So I would like to finish with some examples of EY's intelligent operations approach, just 2 examples that we have here, and really importantly, the value it's delivering to our clients. So the first one, for a global airline, it's headquartered in Australia. The challenge that they had was that their automation program was facing some significant challenges in the scale needed to support their transformation agenda. They were really struggling to get to scale. So EY partnered to, first of all, assess a broad range of operations across 15 business units and identified an initial approximately $23 million in committed and signed off benefits, with about 50 processes accelerated for automation and process redesign. And this produced a step change shift in the client's transformation program. And we are still partnering with this client on their transformation journey. The second example we have here is, of course, very current and is dealing with and relates to the COVID emergency that, of course, we're all facing. This second example deals with an Australian bank where we are partnering to respond to the COVID emergency and provide urgent assistance to its customers. In March, EY mobilised an automation SWAT team successfully automate many of the bank's COVID processes supporting its customers. And these sorts of processes include restructuring about 26,000 loans and providing repayment holidays for the bank's customers. We issued over 41,000 debit cards. Many of these were issued to aged and disabled people and pensioners who were actually unable to access branches during the COVID shutdown, but urgently needed the debit cards to access their funds. We paused over 25,000 direct debits and fees, and many other COVID-related and BAU-type processes were able to be automated in a very rapid amount of time. And because of the urgency of this situation, many of these processes had to have been developed and launched within very tight timeframes, sometimes as little as 2 to 3 weeks. And this scaled acceleration has opened the bank's eyes to the potential of automation. And of course, we're continuing to partner with the bank on going through the COVID emergency, but also supporting their broader operations. So to close, that concludes our presentation today. Of course, Andy, Gus and I would welcome any inquiries on how EY's intelligent operations approach can help you achieve your business transformation goals. Thank you and have a good day.